Welcome to Road America in the state of Wisconsin for round 4 of the NXTGen Racing League V8 Supercar Series. This fearsome 4-mile track is seen by many as the best test of road racing in North America and is many a driver's favourite. Amongst its many events include IndyCars, the IMSA Sports Car Series and the NASCAR Xfinity racing amongst others. And today in the sim world, the V8 power of Ford Falcon Supercars is going to take to the track. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Andrew, and as mentioned, today we have as live coverage of the NXTGen Racing League V8 Supercar Series. We're on to round 4, and it is of course powered by Project Cars 2 and PlayStation 4 and presented by NXTGen Racing and myself here, Andy81287. Now obviously if you've been watching any of the other races that have gone up so far, it is round 4 now. First 3 rounds have been very exciting, very close racing as well. You'll have seen some of the action from 2 of the 3 races. You would have seen round 1 at Laguna Seca, and you would have seen round 3 at Sonoma last time round as well. We missed Long Beach due to some technical issues that meant the recording didn't happen. But despite this being the case, the championship table is very, very close. Top of the table, number 34 machine, NGR Scooby G on 104 points, followed by the number 1 car of RS Jim 77, 3 points back on just 101, and then a bit of a gap to Satch 68 on 75, who will be looking to make inroads into that gap here today around Elkhart Lake. Obviously it's going to be very interesting, but the first thing we need to do is get into qualifying, and we're going to take a lap on board with Vidicus of the number 44 machine around this lap. So enjoy, let's get into the onboard action and see what it's like to go around this 4-mile track in the state of Wisconsin. So here we are on board then, heading up the Road America straight up the hill to start a qualifying lap here around Road America. Cut the cars up ahead as we head up towards turn 1. They're staying out the way. It's hard on the brakes, down into 3rd gear and into turn 1. You're doing around about 130-140 kilometers an hour. This little bit here is called turn 2, but then it's into the braking zone and down to about 2nd gear for turn 3, just hitting around about 60 miles an hour, 100 kph as you come out of there. Coming down the hill then, this is technically turn 4 as you go under the bridge, and then you head down the moraine sweep as you come downhill, plunging into 5th turn. Hilling hard on the brakes, you're down to about 2nd gear, some drivers down to 1st. Vidicus run a bit wide here on this lap we're watching, but he carries it all together and heads up the hill into turn 6. Very tricky braking point as proven there. You can easily run wide going up and over the hill there as the car goes light over the crest, then into turn 7, which is quite a fast corner, but it can be quite deceptive, and you can run wide down the hill of round Hurry Downs and into turn 8. Vidicus there just catching the curb, getting a bit sideways in the exit, and we're now into turn 9 and 10, the carousel. There's so many different ways that you can take this turn, but what you want is corner exit speed as you head towards the kink. Turn 11, very fast depending on your preference, as Vidicus gets it slightly wrong here, but depending on your preference here, some take it in 5th, some like to drop down to 4th gear as they now come through the kettle bottoms and into turn 12, Canada corner. Hard on the brakes, down to 2nd gear. You want to miss the curb on the outside to avoid getting loss of traction through Thunder Alley, which is where the fans come into the track, under the track, and into turn 13 in the final turn 14. Probably one of the most tricky corners, most critical corners in the track. You need to get a good run or you're going to be struggling all the way up the hill as you head towards the line. This wasn't to be Vidicus' fastest lap, but it gives you a good driver's eye view of Road America. So that was a lap off-road America from the driver's point of view. And as you can see on the screen just now, there is the top 10 from qualifying. It is Satch taking pole position with a stunning lap of 2 minutes 7.8, over nearly 8/10 of a second clear of NGR Scooby in second. And you can see there from the timings that it was that middle sector where he has made all the difference there, being over a second clear and nearly a second clear, and being the only man to get inside 44 seconds in sector 2. Fantastic stuff there from the number 43 driver. Third place was Vidikas in the number 44 on a 2 minute 9. He was a second and a half down, so only Satch and Scooby being within a second of each other and everyone else over a second off. But it shows you just how good a lap it was from the number 43 car of Satch. Fourth place is the Farmer. He had a 2 minute 9, and they were then followed by NXTGen. Second place in the championship, but only fifth place on the grid here today, and he'll be looking to make up some ground pretty quickly. It was Matthew in 6th, Edu in 7th, and then Andy in 8th for his best qualifying of the season so far, followed by Rico in 9th, Slidergas rounding out the top 10. We're also going to go through the grid walk in just a moment as well, but this track, this place has seen racing around the area since 1940s, starting out in the public roads of Elkhart Lake itself, which is nearby. It wasn't until 1955 that Road America as we know it today came about to exist, and that's this track here, built on 640 acres of land, has remained pretty much unchanged over the last 60 plus years. It's 14 turns, see the drivers reach speeds of close to 200 miles an hour and have to deal with elevation changes throughout the lap. Today the drivers today are presented with a challenge of this parkland track, and it is obviously now time to head down to the grid, run through the field in full, and let's have the grid walk. Yes, hello everybody, welcome to the grid here at Road America. It's a lovely sunny day, not many clouds in the sky today for a great afternoon, evening of racing ahead. We have a 14 car grid with us here today, and just look at the grandstands off to the side, and don't see too much at the moment obviously with the packed grandstand just over to the side there, not too much with the camera. Not being as what I want, but as you can see there's a lot of crowd out in the outfield section camping out as they always do here. So we're going to run through the grid on this grid walk and run through each of the 14 cars. You've already seen the top 10, but let's make sure we cover everybody off today on the starting grid for the 17 lap race. First up, it is Satch 68 in the number 43 machine with that fantastic pole lap, and he will take the his first pole position of the season here at Road America, getting ahead of everyone else. Second on the grid is the current championship leader, which is NGR Scooby G in the number 34 machine. Probably got the best average starting position of anyone on the grid. I'm not a mathematician, that is a word, so I wouldn't know, but he has obviously been very consistent, and it's no surprise that he's at the front end again and obviously at the top end in the championship. Third on the grid, just behind the similar car, is the 44 of Vidikas. He is in third position today. He'll be looking to improve on that and at least make sure he can challenge the two at the front and hopefully take a win here today at the Elkhart Lake. Fourth is the number 4 machine, the blue machine of Farmure. He has taken the last 2 races since coming in, shown very good pace here and at Sonoma 2 weeks ago as well. He'll be looking to improve on that too, should he avoid any possible carnage that might come from turn 1. Fifth in the grid in the number 1 machine is the second place in the championship, which is NXTGen. He's down a little bit where he'd prefer to be, but obviously it is a long track here at just over 4 miles, and although it's 17 laps, it will be around about a 35 to 40 minute race here this evening, so it's going to be very fun indeed. He'll be looking to improve on that. 6th place is number 48 machine of Matthew Lambert. He's obviously proved himself to be very quick but very unlucky as well, having got caught up in a number of incidents in the 2 races that he's taken part in so far. First one at Laguna Seca, and then his second race was at Sonoma 2 weeks ago. He'll be looking to avoid the hassle off the start today, and he'll be looking to go up the order. 7th on the grid in the number 12 machine, his best qualifying of the year so far. It is Andy 81287. He was very surprised at his own lap as well, and I spoke to him before the race today, and he's hoping to at least maintain that position. He doesn't want to go backwards if he can avoid it, but it's a long race and he knows there's quite a few fast drivers behind him as well. One of those such drivers is next to him on the grid in the number 29 extra machine, the yellow car, and it is Edu, the league coordinator. He's obviously known for being up the front of the grid, but last time out at Sonoma obviously had a few issues, ran wide as well. He'll be hoping to avoid doing that today, and will be looking to get up to the front end of the grid. 9th place is Rico in the number 3 machine. He's obviously been doing very well in his races so far, keeping towards the middle of the field and trying his best to keep out of trouble where possible. He'll be hoping for a good finish here today. Rounding out the top 10 is Slider Gas in the number 78 orange, red and white machine, and again he'll be hoping to avoid any possible mishaps into turn 1 that might come about due to the tight nature of this track. Back in 11th in the number 11 machine, I believe it is to be his worst qualifying of the season so far. It is the Les. He's talked about being a bit disenchanted with the league in terms of the racing so far. He'll be hoping to change that though moving forward, still being committed to the league as always. 12th on the grid, get out the alarms, because it is the Lager Fanny, because he's a fanny on the Lager. Yes, it is obviously the NGR man himself in the number 33 machine. Now he has been up towards the front end a wee bit more during the season, more towards about 6th, 7th, 8th, and fighting for those slightly higher positions, so he'll be looking to get himself up the field pretty quickly today. 13th on the grid is Ropsky in the number 7 machine. He's towards the back here on the back row today. He'll be hoping to get up the grid as well. Obviously a quick racer, just struggling to keep up the pace of some of the cars ahead here today. He'll be hoping to change that with his race pace. And finally on the grid, no, you're not seeing double, it's not Deja Vu, it is another number 3 car. Got a wee bit of an issue with the paint scheme, someone got it wrong. But it is Suzuki RMZ, or Suzuki as I'm just going to call, filling in for this weekend due to a couple of people being missing. So filling up at the back row here, we'll be hoping to stay out of trouble and hopefully get up the order. But that brings us back to the front of the grid. It is now time for us to see 17 laps of action here at Road America. Buckle in, because this is going to be fun, and it's going to be a good run down to turn 1. So we get the lights on, they're all ready, the engine revs rise, and they're underway, and it's a good start from Scooby G, who instantly takes the lead from Satch, who got a bit of wheel spin. Vidicaz up and coming up through in 3rd place, and then the rest of them behind. Edu's made a good start as well. We're going to jump back a little bit, and there's contact there between Matthew and Edu. Edu's been rushed wide. We've got a spinner on the grass inside. Edu's back on track, and he's off. He's into the wall. He's caught Rico as well. Rico has gone flying, and again Rico has gone flying even more. Goodness me, he went absolutely everywhere. Let's go back just quickly and see that from Rico's point of view here. Here we go, you can just see it coming into view. Now he gets hit by, looks like it was the slow starting Vidikas who got caught up in it all, and there is Matthew redeeming, catching up after collecting Edu there at the front. But I look at the front of the field though, it's still Scooby leading from Satch, headlights ablaze as he chases down, trying to take back his first position. NXTGen's made it up to third. Fourth is Farmer, and then in fifth place from seventh is Andy, who's managed to avoid all the trouble there, along with Suzuki, who's came up from the back of the grid, avoiding all the carnage. And these six have got a bit of a gap over anyone else. Couple of seconds there, as you can see, there's Vidikas with a bit of damage to the front of his car, being followed by Slider Gas. In the Les, look at this battle. Les going up the inside there into the fast turn. Slider Gas gives them a wee knock. Lager's coming through, and it's been rear-ended by Rico, whose car's already destroyed as much as it is. Ropski's gone wide in the background. This is going to be a fun race. There's Matthew catching up as well. Edu's in the background. We're going to follow this wee battle for the moment being as they come through the carousel for the first time on lap 1 here. We'll keep an eye on what goes on up front, but look at this as they come towards the kink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This isn't going to end well, surely not. No, Lager's got off. Rico's got off as well, both in the grass. Les has avoided it. Matthew's skipped up 3 places there within that melee. He's gone from 12th up to 9th there just through that as he's late on the brakes going into Canada corner. Somehow gets it all together and holds it there, and he has made it through as they come through Thunder Alley and come up towards the last of the 14 turns to head up the hill. Frantic start here at Road America for the NXTGen V8 Supercar Series as they come up the hill, the complete lap 1 at the back, but up the front it's Scooby still in the lead from Satch as they head into turn 1 after the first lap. NXTGen's a couple of seconds back in third. He's then followed by Farmer in fourth, Andy's in fifth with Suzuki in sixth, and there's a few seconds back to the chasing pack who are trying to recover from all the melee and shenanigans of lap 1. Awesome stuff, and you can see that Satch has got a bit of a run here on Scooby coming down towards turn 4. Down at the bottom of the hill. Will he be close enough to have a go under braking? He's thinking about it, he's going up the inside. Can he hold the position? That is a fantastic overtaking move from the poleman, who gets his first position back into turn 4 at the bottom of the hill. Can Scooby get anything out of it as he comes back? No, he can't, but they just skip back to Andy, who's lost it coming over the crest up the hill. That is absolutely terrible for the number 12 driver there. He'd made a good start from P7 and he's now just ruined that as he drops all the way back through the order. He is now pretty much dead last, apart from Ropski there. That is such a shame for him. He was running up in 5th place. He'd done a similar thing at Sonoma last time out as well in lap 2 after avoiding the first corner melee, and he'll be hoping to avoid doing that in future races and get back up the order. But back at the front, Satch is still ahead from Scooby. NXTGen trying to catch these two up along with the Farmer. These 4 have basically scampered off from everywhere else, because back in 5th is Suzuki, who's at least 6 seconds behind 4th, while the rest of the chasing pack have started catching up to the number 3 machine, and that is very, very late in the brakes there for the number 3, straight into the wall. Vidikas nearly joined in sympathy there, and is going to lose a couple of places for the number 3 car. 1, 2, 3 places at least, dropping Suzuki to 8th place after that mistake at Canada corner. They will not be happy with that. You can see Edu there in the background with his very battered number 29 extra machine trying to make his way back up through the field. We're on and at the end of onto lap 3 now, and up front it is Satch leading with a 2:08 from Scooby in second, who's done a 2:09. Satch getting over a second clear after making that fantastic pass into turn 4, and he's just trying to scamper away up front from everyone else. We're going to just skip forward a little bit because Matthew's having a wee bit of a nibble there at Vidikas up ahead. The action is at the middle here off the pack between 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th onwards at the moment as they head down towards turn 4 for the 3rd time. Matthew trying to get into the draft of Vidica's ahead there. Will he have a go into turn 4? No, he drops back in, gets on the brakes and takes the corner, takes out a couple of the cones on the inside curbing as well, and runs a bit wide for his troubles, but he's through without much problem at all. Going to follow this battle for a little moment, as I say, between this midfield pack. And there's Suzuki having more issues by the looks of it. Coming out of the turn at the top of the hill, and Edu's ran wide there onto the grass. Les might have a go. Rico's having a bit of issues at the back. Edu going down the inside. We're just going to skip onto that. It's a lovely move, but he's got sideways, and Les has got the turn and the inside line for the carousel, and he takes back over 9th place for the meantime. Fantastic stuff here, as always, here for the V8 Supercar series on NXTGen, using the PlayStation 4 and Project Cars 2, as I mentioned within the intro to the show. And both Edu and Les have gone wide there. A little bit of a bump there, possibly the virtual bubble that comes around by racing online, but Edu's got the run down to Canada corner. He's got the place at the moment. Can he hold it going through? And he does. Gets in the brakes very nicely as Rico, with a very battered car, comes up behind, and Suzuki's there as well, trying to get in and amongst the action too, and recover back up after losing a few places. But it's still all go all around this track. And Edu's lost the place back to Les, and now Edu's got a run coming up the hill. And Les pulls in behind to try and get the slipstream to go into turn 1. This is great racing, very fair as well, trying to keep it as clean as possible. Down to turn 1, this will be a brave move from the number 11. Can he get in the brakes late enough? Can he get it turned in? He can. Oh, Edu's bumped him a bit. Rico's got bumped. No, my goodness me, Edu is off against another big crash. Suzuki's been caught. Les is wide. There goes Andy on. Ropsky going by. Les is backwards on the track. Suzuki's turning around as well. They both get going again, but that was nearly another moment. Edu was involved again there. It looked like it was a little bit of a push from Les, albeit not meaningful, on Edu as he went into turn 1. Edu came back. Les just got mixed up, got caught in it all. It's just pandemonium. Ongoing again, so it's now NGR Edu in 9th. I was going to say it's Lager in 10th, but he's completely messed that one up, and Ropsky's going to have a go as they come up the top of the hill here, and he's gone in, he's wide, he's been nudged, and there's Andy trying to get by, and he's had a wee nudge as well. Looks like Ropsky's possibly trying to be fair and allow Lager to come back through, feeling that he hit him. Andy's run wide there, getting a little bit sideways. Ropsky's let him by. That's some fair racing there. Ropsky realised that he was maybe a bit too ambitious and might have caused that problem altogether, and just gives the place back instead of incurring any wrath from the stewards. Lovely stuff there. So let's run through the order as the leaders come up towards the end of lap 4, and they are away ahead on their own here. Satch in the lead from Scooby G. Only half a second between it. Jim is in 3rd, but he's about 7 seconds back. You can see him in the background there, and Scooby's got a run here. Coming up the hill, he's drafting his way up. Can he get past? Remember, no setups in this, it's all default. It's all down to driver skill. Side by side, Scooby just comes off the brakes, decides better off it due to the nature of turn 1 and the fact that that outside curb can just spit you out, as we've already seen, and he gives back the position and Satch holds on. There's Jim coming through turn 1 as well though, and he's got about 4 seconds to Matthew back in 4th now. He's got past Farmer. It's a bit of a couple of seconds back to Slider Gas, and then another 3 seconds to the battered car of Rico, who's ahead in the Edu. Edu's back off at his favourite place of turn 1 one more time. And then it's Vidica's, so he's dropped a few places since we last seen him earlier on in the race, so he's dropped back a wee bit. And then behind him we've got NGR Lager, followed by Ropsky and Andy coming down towards the bottom of turn 4. Suzuki's in 13th and Les is catching up in 14th. But we're going to jump back to the front here and watch the leaders. There's Satch, you see him sawing away at the wheel going through the turn there. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Can he keep ahead of the championship leader, or will the championship leader Scooby G be able to get past and take maximum points here today? Bit of dust kicked up by the number 43 on the exit off the carousel as they head through the kink. Scooby's got a good run through there by the looks of it, possibly heading towards Canada Corner. Can he make anything off it? He's not close enough at this point, and he'll just have to fall back into line for now to hold on and see what comes through. They come through Thunder Alley. This is where the fans come into the track. They used to come in through the bridge that was there. They now come in through an underground tunnel and then up into turn 14 and onto the Road America straight. Lovely stuff going on all around the track though. And again, we're just going to jump back through the field as the leaders come up to complete lap 5 and start lap 6 of the 17 lap race here at NXTGen V8 Supercar Series League. We hold this every Tuesday evening. It's PlayStation 4 if you want to get involved. All you need is a PlayStation 4, Project Cars 2 game, and the ability to be available on a Tuesday from 8 PM. Although we've got a lot of regulars, as you've seen from the commentary videos so far, there is always the occasion where someone can't make it due to work commitments or other commitments as well, and there is always spaces available. As we're watching Vidicus have a go at Rico into turn 1, he's not quite able to make it. Edu's gone wide onto the grass. He's basically cutting half the grass around here at Elkhart Lake today. He won't be doing that too much as he tries to keep the car on the track. There is NGR Laga in 10th going through turn 3. But if you want to join up, or you want to be part of the reserve list, or possibly even be available to become a permanent fixture in the league or any other league held on NXTGen Racing, head to the Facebook page. I will get the links into the description below when I have a chance, but if not, just search for NXTGen Racing on your Facebook search bar. You can also find them at Twitter as well, using NXTGen as well, same spelling on your Twitter search will bring up the NXTGen Twitter page. It'd be great to see you along. If you want to have some clean and fair racing, this is the place to be. Lap 6 though, we're back down the field here in 11th, watching Ropsky running wide through the turn there, heading before the carousel. That's going to give Andy a bit of a chance to catch up as we try to cover off as much of the field as possible. So that was turn 8. Can Andy get a run out of the carousel and through the kink to have a go possibly into Canada Corner, or maybe set something up for going into turn 1 at the start of the lap? Ropsky's gone in quite shallow there. He's run wide and into the wall, and he's gone off the grass as well. He just holds it together. Good save there from the number 12. Ropsky's managed to get away without too much damage, even though damage is obviously off. It's not cost him too much time, but it has cost him 11th place, and Andy is back ahead into 11th. There's Suzuki behind the two of them there in the number 3, and Les still catching up in the number 11 machine. He's back in 14th. Back to the front, because it's still very close between the top two up front as they head down the Moraine sweep, down the hill towards turn 5 for the 7th time here at Elkhart Lake Road America. The crowd on the left, they'll be loving this if they were real. And hopefully the crowd that is watching here though just now are enjoying the racing here at this point in time. Some lovely racing as always, action packed through the field, and Satch getting sideways there coming out off turn 6 heading into turn 7, but Scooby couldn't capitalise. Looked like he got a little bit wide himself, and the gap is maintained at just under a second between the top two. It's coming through here, the carousel. Very tricky corner to get right. You want to carry as much speed as possible to get the best slingshot out for the next corner into the kink, but there's so many lines you can take through the carousel. Some take it at a sort of triangle almost. They run wide first of all to the outside and then bring it back and get on the throttle. Some try and keep it continuous. It's all down to driver preference, but there's so many ways you can take that turn and it can make up a lot of time as they come down now to Canada Corner, having come through Kettle Bottoms there between the kink and Canada Corner, through Thunder Valley into turn 13. And then the final turn 14, probably one of the more important corners in the track, turn 14, because of the uphill nature to the bottom of the corner. You need a good exit to get up the hill, because if not, you are a sitting duck at the bottom of at the top of the hill. And they start a lap 8 now at the front. Now if we go through the order, I can see that Matthew Lambert, just as we join them, getting very sideways coming out the last corner, but he is now ahead of Jim into third place, so we have missed that bit of on-track action, unfortunately, I'm afraid to say. Sorry about that, as I was concentrating on all the other parts and thinking the race had settled slightly. But he is up into a podium position at the moment, and that will not be good for Jim as in his championship fight at the moment with Scooby up front. He's obviously still in second, but he's going to be losing points at the moment to the championship leader if the race was to finish like this, so he will be looking to try and get that place back from Matthew. But Matthew's already got a couple of seconds over the number 1 machine, so we'll need to keep an eye on that battle as this goes on. We're going to jump back here though and go through the field. 5th place, you can see the Farmia and the number 4 machine, followed by Slider Gas in the number 78. They two separated by about a second. There's a bit of a gap to Rico, who is 7 seconds back roughly in a very battered number 3 machine, followed by an equally battered number 44 car of Vidicus. And then it's NGR Lager in the number 33 machine as they come down into turn 5. Rounding out the top oh wait a minute, before we round out the top 10, Rico's got a bit wide there. Can Vidicus get up the inside? That's a dangerous move and a very brave one at that. He's decided better off it. They've avoided major contact, but Rico has got very wide there, and that allowed Vidicus the chance. But now Vidicus is possibly at the danger of Lager behind him into turn 8 as they come into turn 9, the carousel. We'll just quickly round out the rest of the field. 10th place. He's coming up towards the carousel himself. Number 12 machine, it's Andy. He's then got Edu behind him in 11th, who's dropped back. So he's had another incident during this race at some point that we've missed out on. He's possibly been wide again at turn 1, I believe. He's now in 11th, chasing back down to get back into that top 10. Then it's Les who's made up a few places from Suzuki, and Ropski's now at the back. So there goes Suzuki wide. So Ropski's going to get a chance possibly to get back onto the back of that number 4 machine, sorry, but not quite enough into Canada corner. So there's action all over the place, and we're actually going to hold here for a moment because these 5 are within 3 seconds of each other, and apart from Vidicus, Rico and Lager just ahead, there's not much else happening out there at the moment. NGR Scooby's dropped back about 2 seconds on the leader. So we're going to hold here for a moment. Andy leading this train to about 5 cars. Rico's dropped back to 9, so Vidicus and NGR Lager have got ahead of Rico, and they are pulling away. So Rico's ran wide, so I'm guessing, because he's dropped 3 seconds back quite quickly as Andy comes through turn 1. This is technically classed as turn 2, and then into turn 3. Very tricky corner. You want to get the power right, or you're going to lose a lot of speed the whole way down. Edu's got a heck of a run coming down the hill here. He's possibly going to have a go at the bottom of the hill here, down the bottom of Maury's sweeps. What can he do going into turn 5? Will he have a go? He's going to take up the line, and he gets it turned in nicely. A little bit sideways on exit though. He won't want to be doing that too much, it'll eat his tyres. And there's Edu going for the inside line, and he's sideways, rallycross style through the turn there at the top of the hill. And there goes Suzuki widening into the wall as well, so that's going to allow Ropski up as well. Suzuki's gone wide, so we're down to 4 cars now. Here goes Edu late in the brakes into turn 7, and he's got it done, but he's ran wide. Can Andy take the line through the carousel? Side by side through the carousel. That's brave, but Edu's got the inside line, and now Les is looking to take the chance of coming past Andy as well as they head towards the kink. Surely he's not going to try something from there. No, he's not. He pulls back in behind the same liveried Jed Gloves machine, but Edu and Les both run wide onto the grass to come into Canada corner. Can any of them have a go down here into Canada corner? Doesn't look like it from here at this point. So you'll see at the moment that Suzuki is showing further up the field than where they actually are, and the reason for that is that they have gone skyward. They actually retired from the race and obviously decided that being part of the NASA space program was more important than racing around the rest of this race. So they are out as it is, and we will no longer see them for the rest of this race. So we've got one retirement already. As we come back to the action, they're both Edu and Les have got past Andy. We knew Edu had. Les got it on the bottom of the hill. A good run coming through and got him going up the hill. I should remember that because it was me. So that is him moving his way back up the field. Now these two are pretty close. What is going to happen here? The rest of the field sort of settled down. Satch is 3.5 seconds clear of NGR Scooby up front. Matthew Lambert in third. He's got about 6 seconds over Jim. So there are quite a few gaps building here around this 4-mile track. Edu getting a bit wide. Well, Les getting a bit wide due to Edu getting a bit later on the brakes and not quite getting the power down. Oh, there goes Edu again. What has happened? He's ran wide. He's on the grass. He's come back on. They're hit again. Contact and oh, goodness me. There goes Edu. Into the wall one more time. Can he get it back round? He's now at the back of the field, 13 for the 13 runners, as Andy and Ropsky both go by. Don't know quite what happened there. He got wide and he seemed to spin at the top of the hill, coming through what is turn 6, if I remember correctly, at the top of the hill. And then as he came back onto the track, look at that, there we go. How's that for sportsmanship? Les realising he was not too sure if it might have been his fault, and he is waiting for Edu to come back through. But this was at the point that Edu had actually disconnected. There was a disconnection issue for Edu, and then Les has had his own issues as well, and he is now out of the race also. So you'll see again NGR Edu is further up the order, but he is about to be a retiree, and there he is in the garage. He had to disconnect. Not sure quite what happened to Les if he had a disconnect as well. But we now have 3 retirements and we have 11 cars still running in this race. There we go. So Edu, Les and Suzuki are 3 cars out. We have 11 cars running, and that is lap 11. There's Ropsky chasing down Andy, who's run very wide there into turn 1. But he's got away with it on this occasion. We will possibly come back to that in a wee moment because they're pretty close on the track. Rico is up ahead of him, but he's got about 6 to 7 seconds over them. So he's got a good gap, and he's got 3 seconds before he comes across 8th place Lager, who is fighting with Farmer and Vidicas. So these 3 pretty close on the track. No one else is really that close, although Slider Gas is starting to close in on Jim for 4th. So we will hold here with the 6th place battle for now between Vidicas, Farmer and NGR Lager, and see what goes on here for the moment. Vidicas trying to pull away from these 2 behind. Farmer obviously started a little bit further up the grid, so he's lost a few places since the start of this race. And it'll be interesting to see if he can make them back before the end, as they come through the kink and through Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner for the 11th time. The leaders are now on to lap 12 though. Satch up front, he has got nearly 4 seconds on NGR Scooby, so if he can keep the consistency there, then he could have the win in the bag. But obviously you've got to finish first you've got to finish, as they say. So can he hold on up front? He's got over 4 seconds though, so he can be very considerate about how he goes about his racing here just now. I'm going to jump back though, because right at the back of the field these 2 are all over each other. Andy and Ropsky at the back of the field, but they're fighting as if they were fighting for the win as they start their 12th lap now. Ropsky's made up about a second on that lap. He was just about a second faster on that last lap, so He is looking to get past Andy. They're sliding a little bit wide through turn 1 and down through turn 2 as they head into turn 3. Now, can the number 7 machine get a run down through the Maureen sweeps and down into turn 5? Under the bridge. This is technically turn 4. And down the Maureen sweep and into turn 5. It's not quite close enough by the looks of it. And he gets in the brakes, gets it turned in, and he gets followed through. So these two probably the closest on track, apart from Vidicaz, Farmer and NGR Lager. So we need to keep an eye on between where we go excuse me, for these track battles at the moment, as Andy and Ropsky come down the hurry downs towards turn 8 and then turn 9 and 10, collectively known of course as the carousel. Satch up front just blitzing away from Scooby. He's now got about 5.5 seconds, so it seems like the championship leaders had maybe an issue on this lap, which has obviously caused him a few problems to fall back even further. He won't want to fall too far back, although he's got 15 seconds on Matthew in third. He won't want to chance it too much in case he has a big issue and that causes him to fall even further back from the leader and fall back into the clutches of others behind. Andy's got wide there onto the curb, but it's going to cause him traction issues coming off the corner as they come through turn 13 here after coming out of Thunder Alley and into turn 14. And to head up the hill one more time. That number 12 machine really does look loose, which, considering it's a fixed car setup with no damage, it's obviously down to driving style. And I can tell you that Andy is one of the very few that at this time is still using the dual shock controller. But Ropsky's got a run here and he's going to have a look down into turn 1 and he's going to think better off it and pull back in. Andy throws it into turn 1. He's run very wide though. Oh, onto the grass, and Ropsky's going to get past. That's a change for position for P10, and Ropsky is past and into P10, but Andy is straight onto the back of him, into the slipstream, down the Maureen sweep, and into turn 5. I don't think he's quite close enough at this point to do anything, and he holds on for the meantime. We're going to jump back to that in a moment because these two are pretty much the closest on track of anybody. There's the Farmer coming through though out of turn 7 and down through the hurry downs as he tries to stay ahead of Lager in 8th. Vidicaz has pulled a couple of seconds ahead. You've just seen him going through the carousel, and you can see Rico a couple of seconds back on this wee battle for 7th. So this and the battle between Ropsky and Andy are the closest on the track at the moment. The lead up front, we've not followed much of the leaders at the moment now, but they are up to a 6-second gap up front. Satch last time round a 2:08.9 to NGR Scooby's 2:09.9, a full second from the leader as he just starts to try and stamp his authority on the race and just make sure he consolidates his position up front and takes the win here at Road America for round 4. And it'll be his first win of the season as well. With, oh, Farmer getting very sideways, a little bit of rallycross action there coming out the final turn. And that's going to hamper him going up the hill. And with the draft and the slipstream, can NGR Lager get onto the back of him coming up to turn 1? He won't be close enough through turn 1, but can he follow through turn 1, down through turns 2 and 3, and maybe got a run into turn 5 at the bottom of the hill? We'll soon find out and see what's going on here. We're going to actually jump back here because these two are very close at the back here, and Ropsky's got a little bit wide. Andy's sliding through turn 1 and these two are nose to tail. Andy's thinking about going for a look into turn 3, but he doesn't. He's then sideways himself, but he's still managed to get a good run as Ropsky kicks up the dirt. He is on the slipstream here. There are millimetres between them as they come down the hill Down the Maureen sweep and into turn 5, and he's been pushed to the outside. Can he make the braking move happen? He's on the brakes, he's on them late, he's going round, he's left the... Oh, what a move from Andy. Don't mean to big myself up here, but I enjoyed that very much, I must say, and it was actually quite fun to watch it back. So very good move there from the number 12 machine. Can he hold on now and keep that 10th place, or will there be a few more changes between these two before the race is up? We are going to jump back forward though to the 7th place battle for now between Farmer and Lager. As Farmer goes wide, he's onto the grass through the kink. That's about 150 miles an hour. It's a good job it's a sim race, because if that was real life you'd be needing a change of underwear at least 3 times over. That is a scary place to go off. I've seen some big crashes down there in real life. I remember Catherine, I think it was Catherine Legg in the kart race, had a big crash there one year. I think it was 2005. And it basically ripped the entire engine and gearbox off, left just the shell and the monocoque doing its job to protect Catherine. There's some big crashes down there in the past, and it's not a place you want to go, because as you can see there's a bit of grass, but then it's a concrete wall, very little runoff. You get it wrong down there, it is going to be a sore one, it is going to be a bad one. We are on to lap 15 now here at Road America. Just a couple of laps to go. And up front, Satch is leading from NGR Scooby by 5.5 seconds. He is already up to the carousel as we join him here. There is Scooby coming through, heading to the carousel himself, and then 20 seconds back on the leader and 15 back on second. It is Matthew running his own race, just keeping it consistent, hitting the marks as he comes down towards turn 8, and he'll just be hoping to keep there and consolidate that 3rd place. 4th place is Jim. He'll be hoping to just stick there as well, because he's got about 10 seconds to Matthew, but Slider Gas only 4 seconds back, so a small mistake from the 2nd place championship driver and he could lose some more points. And Vidicaz there is right behind Slider as well. And oh, there he be, the Farmer's gone wide and onto the grass. There goes Lager. We caught that in the background as he got out of shape coming out of turn 8 there. And just before the carousel we see NGR Lager scoop up into P7. It's getting very compact once again in the midfield. What is going to happen in these last couple of laps? Will anybody make a move? Can there be any more action to go? I'm soon going to find out. The leaders are into their 16th lap, so they're on the penultimate lap. It would be the white flag next time round for them. As they come through here, we're watching Lager and Farmer coming through Thunder Valley, turn 13, and up to the final turn 14. Is he going to have a go to number 4? No, he's going to pull in there and think better of it. Can he get a good run up the hill? Lager's caught the curb there, so it's going to affect his traction slightly on that rear left wheel, and there's a good run up the hill with a slipstream. Can he pull out and pull past before they get to turn 1, or is it going to be a late braking move? Side by side as they fly by. They've touched on the way to turn 1. There's another bit of contact as well, but the Farmer has got that place back. Rubbing is racing, they say, and that was just about fair enough on that there too. So it was a lovely move there from the number 3 machine, and he is back through and into 7th place. So number 4 machine, number 3 is Rico, of course, as I get my numbers mixed up between the two of them. There's number 44 machine of Vidicus. He's trying to catch up to Slider Gas, but cut the seconds between them. And RS Jim cut the seconds ahead of Slider. So everybody lapping around about the sort of 2:10 range, apart from the first 2 or 3 who are able to get into the under 2:10 around here. So some very quick lap times even in race mode. That looked like that was Vidicus running wide, but he's managed to scoop it all back together and keep it all in check. It looks like things, apart from these places towards the back, have definitely settled down here at Road America as we come up as the leader starts the final lap. The white flag is out on the gantry as the leaders take to the final lap. Satch goes into turn 1. He has got a 5-second lead, and all he needs to do is just hit his marks, keep it nice and steady, and it'll be interesting to see what happens as he comes up to the finish line. He's not got far to go now though, as he comes down the hill towards turn 5. It's not going to be anything that Scooby can do unless Satch makes a mistake, but we are going to skip back, because look at this coming out of Canada corner at the back of the field once again, starting the last lap. It is Andy and Ropsky all battling all over each other once again. Millimetres in it as they come round the final corner and up the hill. Let's keep an eye on this for a second and see what happens, because Ropsky has got a good run here in the draft. Can he be close enough to have a go? It is the final lap, you never know. Or will he wait for a better go? He's getting closer, he thinks about it, he has a look. He's going for it, and there's no contact, but Andy's ran wide. He's ran wide, he's sideways, he's hit Ropsky, and oh my goodness me, it's upside down and flipping over and back. And Ropsky's trying to put him back on his wheels. Unbelievable. Incredible. In fact, Ropsky's going to try and right him back up and see if he can get him back in the wheels. And he just goes right underneath, and the physics just don't work. Oh my goodness, we'll come back in just a second, because we want to see the leader go across the line while those two try to fix himself out. We'll jump back and see, has he managed it? No, he hasn't yet. We're going to just jump back here as Satch comes up the hill for the final time to take the win at Road America. It's win number 1 for the season for the number 43 machine. He's flashing the lights as he crosses the line. And Andy's back in his wheels. Ropsky's got him back up. That's fantastic stuff. They're going to have a bit of a battle. We'll come back in a second. Scooby crosses the line for second. And Matthew's coming through the last corner now. He'll take the final podium position, and he will take 3rd place at the end of it all. RS Jim will take 4th. He's just coming through the final couple of corners now. And then we've got a couple of seconds back to Slider Gas with Vidikas right behind him. Can he get the run going up the hill? Slider's trying to put him off and break the draft, but he's got to leave him some room. Vidikas pulls out, can he do it? No, Slider's going to hold on, but that's very close there for 5th and 6th. Farmer's going to take 7th, NGR Lager in 8th, and Rico takes 9th. But what's going on at the back of the field? It looks like they've had a bit more drama somewhere, possibly down at the bottom of the hill. I can't actually say that the Ropsky ran wide, and because at the end of the race I waited. I wasn't, wanted to have a bit of fun. That car is a bit spent now though. These are the last 2 running. Is there any more drama? Who knows? We're coming up to the kink now for the last time. So this is the only action on track that's going on just now. A little bit sideways through the kink. Can Ropsky get past before the end? Hard on the brakes into Canada corner. Andy's got that wrong. He's got it very wrong indeed. He's sideways, and there we go. The number 7 machine is back through and into 10th place. Last lap, fun and games, incidents in action. There's still one more corner to go though. Through the final corner, and Ropsky's wide. Andy's got a run here. He's going to run up the hill. They're side by side, and Andy's got back through into 10th at the final corner, and he takes the final place on the grid. Fantastic stuff from everybody. So there we are, that is another race in the books, and what a topsy-turvy race that was for the most part. A lot of the action to be found in the midfield, showing that even if you're not one of the quickest, you can still have a lot of fun and a lot of good racing when you're on the NXTGen leagues about here. You can see the results here, the top 10 on the screen once again. Satch in 1st place taking the win with a fastest lap at 2 minutes 8.0, showing just how quick he was around the track. NGR Scooby taking 2nd, he was the only other driver into the 208s. and then third place was Matthew on a 2:09. He was so close to being into the 2:08s for his fastest lap. NXTGen takes fourth place in the standings. We've got Slider today, and then Slider Gas took fifth, with Vidicast recovering from many issues and bumps and scrapes at the start to take home sixth. The Farmer was in seventh, followed by NGR Lagerfani in eighth. Rico in his very bashed up machine was ninth, and then we just seen the end there between Andy, as you can see there, in 10th, and Ropsky, who took the final running position. The Les, NGR Edu and Suzuki were of course non-finishers. But next time out then, we are back next Tuesday for round 5, and this is a night race at Dubai International Autodrome. So first race outside of North America sees us heading to Dubai. This is the start of a sort of Middle East and Australasian tour, as the next couple of races see us also at Sugo in Japan, Rupana in Australia, and then the longer race with double points is round 8. It is of course the home of the V8 Supercar series. It is Bathurst, Mount Panorama, so that is coming up in the near future. But that is it for today's episode. It has been another cracking race once again for NXTGen. As I say, if you are interested, I will get the description below updated with the links that you need if you want to join. Not only is there Project Cars 2 league seasons, but there's also GT Sports and Assetto Corsa as well. The only thing it is it is PlayStation 4 only at this particular point in time. So if you have an Xbox or you have a PC, we're not being specific, but there unfortunately wouldn't be any place at this time for that kind of console. But we will be back next week with the Dubai race. For the meantime, if you have enjoyed what you've watched, do hit the like button below. Do also leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts were with the race. What was your favourite part of the race? Do you enjoy what you're watching as well? I know it's a long video, but I want to cover it as live and give you a good chance to spend nearly an hour of just relaxing and enjoying some really good sim racing on the evenings. But my name is Andrew, Andy81287, signing off. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ta-da.
We're in control.